Imagine pulling an old board from your barn wall and finding hundreds of eggs hidden behind it. It happened to 68-year-old farmer Walter Briggs just after sunrise, while he was repairing a cracked wooden panel near the back of his barn. At first, he thought they were chicken eggs, but when they started moving, Walter realized something had been living inside his barn for weeks, and whatever laid them had not gone far. Walter had always been an early riser, but that morning began differently. Before the sun had fully climbed over the fields, he woke to a sound he couldn't place. A faint scraping, not loud enough to startle him, not clear enough to ignore. It seemed to come from somewhere outside the house, near the old barn where he kept feed, tools, and a few restless goats. At first, Walter told himself it was nothing. Maybe the wind pushing against loose wood, maybe a rat moving through the straw, maybe one of the goats kicking the wall in its sleep. Nothing to worry about. But then the sound came again. Slow, dry, deliberate. Walter sat up in bed and listened. For several seconds, the farmhouse stayed silent. Then the goats started bleating. Not their usual impatient morning calls, but sharp, nervous cries that carried through the walls. Walter knew that sound. Animals didn't make it unless something had frightened them. He pulled on his boots, grabbed a flashlight from the kitchen counter, and stepped outside. But before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming stories. The air was still cold when Walter crossed the yard. The barn stood at the edge of the property, half covered in morning fog, its old boards creaking softly as the wind moved through the gaps. The goats were clustered near the far fence, staring toward the back wall. Walter lifted his flashlight. Nothing moved. No fox, no raccoon, no snake sliding through the straw, just the barn, quiet and dim, as if the sound had never happened. He walked around the outside slowly, checking the corners, the feed bags, the gap under the door. For 10 minutes, he found nothing. Eventually, the goats calmed. Walter shook his head and went back inside, still uneasy, but willing to blame the whole thing on old wood and tired nerves. He had no idea that only a few feet behind that barn wall, hundreds of eggs were already waiting. Later that morning, he returned to the barn with a hammer and a box of nails. One section of the back wall had been warped for weeks, and the strange noises finally convinced him to fix it. He pulled the first board loose. Dust fell, then straw, then something round rolled out and landed softly near his boot. Walter froze. It looked like an egg, pale, smooth, and slightly larger than a chicken egg. He bent down and picked it up carefully. It was warm, too warm. He turned back to the wall and pulled another board free. This time, he stepped back. Behind the wood was a hollow space packed with eggs. Not 10, not 50, hundreds. They were stacked in thick clusters between the wooden beams, tucked into old straw and dried leaves, hidden so well that he might have never found them if the wall had not started to rot. Walter stared in disbelief. It wasn't a nest. It was something far more deliberate. Before he could reach for another one, the goats cried again from the far side of the barn. They were watching the wall, all of them. Walter took one slow step back. He had spent more than 40 years on that land and had seen almost every kind of animal pass through it. Birds nested in the rafters, mice hid in the grain bins, snakes sometimes slipped under the doors. But this was different. No bird could have laid this many eggs, no chicken could have hidden them inside a wall, and whatever had made that scraping sound during the night might still be close. Walter called his neighbor Dale, a retired wildlife officer who had helped him with animal problems before. At first, Dale didn't believe him. Eggs inside a wall, he asked. How many? Walter looked at the hollow space again. Enough that you need to come see it. 20 minutes later, Dale's truck rolled into the yard. He stepped into the barn with the confidence of a man who had seen plenty of strange things in his life. That confidence lasted until he looked behind the broken wall. His smile disappeared. He crouched lower, shining his flashlight into the hidden space. For a long moment, he said nothing. Walter felt a strange relief. At least now he wasn't the only one looking at something impossible. Dale reached in and lifted one of the eggs. He held it gently between both hands, then pressed it lightly against his ear. His face changed. "There's movement inside," he said. Walter swallowed. Dale took out a small light and held it against the shell. A faint reddish pattern appeared beneath the surface. Veins. These weren't old eggs. They weren't empty. Something was alive inside them. The two men stared at each other. The mood in the barn shifted instantly. This was no longer just strange. It was urgent. Dale examined the wall, the straw, the warmth trapped between the boards. Then he looked toward the ground outside the barn. There were tracks in the damp soil, wide marks, heavy drag lines. Something large had been coming and going during the night. Dale stood slowly. "We can't leave them here," he said. Walter wanted to ask what they were, but Dale didn't have an answer yet. All he knew was that the eggs needed warmth, shelter, and protection. If the wall collapsed, if the temperature dropped, or if another animal found them, everything inside could die before they ever learned the truth. Walter thought quickly. The only place that made sense was the old feed room at the back of the barn. It had thick walls, a concrete floor, and one small window. It wasn't pretty, but it was enclosed. Together they cleared the room. They dragged out old sacks, broken tools, empty barrels, and boxes that hadn't been opened in years. Then they covered the floor with straw, brought in heat lamps, and sealed the broken window with plywood. Within an hour, the cold room had become warm and heavy. Not comfortable, not normal, but safe. Then came the hardest part. One by one, they moved the eggs from the wall into wooden crates lined with straw. Walter tried to count them but lost track twice. Dale started over with a notebook. By the time they were finished, the number stunned them both. There were 312 eggs, all hidden inside one barn wall, all warm, all alive. Walter stood in the doorway of the feed room, sweat on his forehead, watching the rows of pale eggs under the heat lamps. He should have felt proud. Instead, he felt watched. That night, he barely slept. Every small sound from outside pulled him awake. The wind against the barn, the goats shifting in their pen, a branch tapping the window. But just before dawn, he heard the scraping again. This time it was louder. Walter grabbed his flashlight and ran outside. The barn door was still shut. The goats were pressed into the far corner again, silent now, eyes fixed on the feed room. Walter unlocked the door and stepped inside. The heat hit him first, then the sound, tap, tap, tap. At first he thought one of the lamps was loose. Then he saw the eggs. Several of them were moving. Tiny tremors ran through the shells. One egg rocked slightly in the straw, then another, then 5 more. Walter backed out and called Dale. By the time Dale arrived, nearly half the eggs were twitching. The feed room no longer felt like a storage space. It felt like something alive. Dale set up a camera and moved closer. A thin crack appeared across one shell. Walter forgot to breathe. The crack widened. A tiny claw pushed through, then a narrow snout. For a moment, neither man spoke. The creature inside forced its head into the warm air and blinked. It was not a bird. It was not a snake. It was a lizard. Small, dark, and perfectly formed, with tiny claws and a long tail curled around the broken shell. Then another egg cracked. Then another. Within minutes, the room filled with movement. Dozens of hatchlings pushed free, slipping through the straw, climbing over broken shells, flicking their tongues at the warm air. Dale crouched beside one and stared. "These are monitor lizards," he said quietly. Walter looked at him. That made no sense. There were no monitor lizards on his farm. There were no monitor lizards anywhere near this county, and there certainly shouldn't have been hundreds of them hidden inside a barn wall. But the room kept moving. More shells split. More tiny lizards emerged. The floor seemed to ripple with life. Walter gripped the doorframe, his mind struggling to catch up with what his eyes were seeing. Then something hit the outside wall, hard. Both men froze. The hatchlings went still. A second thud followed. This one lower, heavier. Dale slowly raised his flashlight toward the small window. Something moved beyond the glass. A long shadow passed across the wall. Then came the sound Walter had heard in the night, the scraping. Only now he understood. It was claws. Something large dragged itself along the outside of the barn, stopping just beyond the feed room door. Walter and Dale exchanged a look. Neither of them wanted to open it, but the hatchlings began moving toward the sound. All of them. Like they recognized it. Dale whispered for Walter to stand back. Then he unlatched the side door and pulled it open a few inches. The flashlight beam caught a massive shape in the fog. A lizard. Bigger than anything Walter had ever seen outside a zoo. Its body was long and heavy, its skin dark and armored, its claws pressing into the wet ground. It stood perfectly still, watching the doorway. Walter's heart slammed against his ribs. The adult monitor lizard did not attack. It did not hiss. It only waited. Behind it, the grass shifted. Another shape appeared. Then another. Dale lowered the flashlight, stunned. There were more of them. The hatchlings rushed toward the open door, pouring across the straw in a moving wave. Walter stepped back as they passed over his boots and spilled into the yard. The adults remained still until the first hatchlings reached them. Then, slowly they turned. The small lizards followed. Within seconds, the strange procession moved across the yard, past the goat pen, through the broken fence, and toward the creek behind the trees. Walter and Dale stood in silence. The feed room was empty. The wall was broken. The eggs were gone, and whatever had brought them there had disappeared into the morning fog. In the days that followed, Dale contacted wildlife officials, but no simple explanation ever came. Some believed the animals had escaped from an illegal private collection. Others thought flooding from a nearby preserve had driven them inland. A few refused to believe the story at all. But Walter knew what he had seen. He had heard the scraping in the night. He had found the eggs hidden inside his barn wall. He had watched them hatch, and every now and then when the farm grew quiet before sunrise, he still heard movement near the creek, soft splashes, dry scraping, and the feeling that something impossible had passed through his land, leaving behind a secret no one would ever fully explain.